All right, traders, welcome back. Episode 77 of Trade Talk, Pippin and Easy. Connor, hello, sir.
Thank you for having me, Scotty. First up, how you been? How's your trading going?
It's been going well. Nothing spectacular trade wise. Unfortunately, I caught a little bit of a sell on the Kiwi early in the month, and I haven't seen anything yet this week, but definitely stuff to talk about.
That is a
Uh,
great segue into my trade, talking about something that is not spectacular.
I've got EURUSD CAD sell trade up. So where was the entry? I've got it the screenshot up here. Was it about halfway through that big
This was about 1.3004, something like
oh
that.
nice. I've even got the little line in the grid here to show me. That's perfect. Oh nice. So and the stop loss, guys, is that green dash line up there. That looks like 1.309ish or so. I can't quite. My
Yeah,
eyesight's terrible. But
it's
that's the
one.
green line there. So plenty of room though. Plenty of room at least.
Yes,
So and it looks like where it is currently, it's sort of up against a bit of a resistance area because you've got a few wiki candles that have tried to get through here. So it's a point of interest at least. So it's not like it's unchallenged in regards to price action previously because recently, like this month, it's really tried to get through there a few times with some wicks that have sort of failed. So it's interesting where it is currently as well because it bounced and yeah, but I mean, so just to let the viewers know, so you look for would this be a textbook nearly in regards to how big that square is that for your entry
yeah,
there?
the square's good. You can see that it's got sort of wick touches on either side.
Yeah.
It's a couple of wick touches that are gone right out of the box, but they're still wicky, right?
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
And then, so look, it's like a 4 out of 5 something that has, those wicks going out of the box isn't always great ideal. But in saying that, my box trades seem to be a lot stricter than other people's box trades. So we'll see how we go there.
And it's
The,
just interesting with we were discussing before we started recording the Donald Trump situation where he'll come out and he was earlier in the week talking about and a weaken the US dollar pretty nicely. He was talking about how raising rates more and he's not doing enough. Like he wanted to interfere with everything. And it was just, a real circus at some he was at some Hamptons dinner and he was just talking with his buddies and I'm like, oh geez, it's just I think he forgets the influence he has. He just loves talking, whatever he wants to talk about and it's a real hilarious situation. And then his lawyer, his ex-lawyer, he got found guilty of
yeah, he was a campaign contributor.
yeah, oh dear. And it's
Campaign in that sort of contributing. I mean, I think he was actually hired as staff.
yeah. And then Donald Trump was saying that, he's just making up stories about all this just to get a lenient sentence.
Yeah. Look, it's
Oh dear.
interesting though that by Donald Trump saying things like that, it can affect the markets because, in theory, the Fed and the government are supposed to be two separate entities, but
Yes.
everyone knows they're not, right? Because if you can
Yeah,
say
yeah.
that and it affects it, and as you've seen numerous times with the global financial crisis, that was the government asking the Fed to print money, and the Fed sort of went, okay. So we all
Yeah.
know that they were in bed together. Yeah, but that's interesting. So you're not in any trades at the moment, are you, Scott?
I'm not. I'm not. I've just got the Aussie dollar 4 hour up here. Which is worth talking about at least. You've got the catalyst of currently the government in Australia. There's no in power. There's no well officially it's Malcolm Turnbull as the prime minister, but they're in a meeting right now to have another vote for a new leader. So there's a lot of instability right now, um, and it's pushed the Aussie dollar a bit lower. But what I look for here, guys, if you're thinking on a trade, is what I would do. I'm going to hold off until later in the session because you probably see a bit of a dip here. and then it might rally just a little bit, just people just sort of jumping in on that sort of strategy. So I'm not gonna. And this current candle on the 4 hour is getting a little wicky now. It's not. I'd like to see it close near the low. So no trade yet. It is tempting because it went through support here at 73.39. But as tempting as it is, I'm just going to have to pass. And that's it for me. But I am watching the euro as well. And you're euro short for.
Yeah.
It's been a while now, hasn't it? I've got the
Oh,
daily up.
it's been a long time. I'll just quickly tell you how long it's been. I'll get my graph. It has been. So that's 51 days. So that's not including weekends.
And your entry, guys, I'm just going to show the viewers. It was at the low of that candle, or was it a little bit higher, or it was the low of the
The
candle?
low of that candle, pretty much. So it's at about break even at the moment.
Yeah, I was about to say, it does look like, yeah. So it's been quite, I mean, it did bounce off 1.36, and it just sort of, it is interesting because it busted out of that range. So to me, I'm going to watch this because it's got some promise, and the Turkish situation sort of simmered down conveniently. I don't know what's going on there, but every day it seems there's some new Donald Trump news. So we'll brace. I'm braced still for more turmoil with Italy as well, with that bridge collapse, which was terrible. But it sounds like
the bridge collapse was to do with Beacon to do with how they haven't been able to pay for any infrastructure for a long time.
yes, yep, agreed.
So that was the symbol of the dire straits that they're in regards to being able to pay for things around the city. That's what that symbolised. But look, I'm not too. It's a bit weird because I worry about the technicals. Like I take a trade off the technicals, but really at the moment I'm been paying attention to the fundamentals a lot, which I normally don't do, but because when Trump, you have a tariff and it seems to be going well between him and China, and then it's not, and then it's going well between him and Euro, and it's not, and then the Euro gets in trouble because they've been lending money to Turkey.
Yes. And,
they've got a lot of risk there. So, and also with it's all just one muddled up ball at the moment, but it's interesting. It's a good time to be alive, Scotty.
I think the entry was good though, guys. Just here, that's but it is, and then this price action I think just reflected what was going on, but it's interesting now with the tariff situation. It's sort of quieting down a little bit at least until people forget about Donald Trump's ex-lawyer or campaign manager, going to prison or wherever he's going to go. So. It is, but like you said, day to day things can change dramatically, which is it's not particularly stable with the fundamentals, so it makes it a little bit more challenging to if you're not a patient trader, if you want to hold long term, you have to be willing to absorb some turbulence because there is certainly it can, and then the markets. I don't know if they've sort of digested the tariffs on the I think it was European cars, 25%. So it's like wow. That happened just out of the blue. It's just like, ooh, Donald just getting in the mood, and he'll oh dear, he is but it is. Was there anything else that you're sort of looking at potentially, or are you fully loaded for risk right now?
Oh no, I'm only in 2%. Oh, I mean, that's a good question. I'm in 3% risk, something like that, 3.2 or something.
Yeah. So you could take another one potentially.
No.
Okay. But yeah, I'll go back to the Aussie. What's if you didn't have any risk on this? What's your take on this, or does it need to weaken a little bit more for you to get interested? Where it is currently?
Try and make a move up, some sort of weak move up, and then strong move back down for me to be interested in it.
So like a last kiss type.
Something like that, like some really wicky sideways action.
Yeah. So what Connor's talking about, guys, is that it would come back up a little bit to this zone here and then go back down again. So that's statistically a little bit better than just you don't want to really just try and catch that falling knife there. You want to be a little careful because you're going to have buyers come in as well. You got to be, because I saw something about it might have been the RBA minutes. They were talking about raising rates or something. I'm not too if I saw that correctly, but it was interesting. It was just on one of the it was on Sky News, like the little news ticker, and I'm
Yes.
like, oh, okay, that's but the price action doesn't really reflect raising interest rates right now. So it's sort of you got to play what you can see, guys, on the chart is the first thing, and then you know pay a little bit of attention to the catalyst, or the news events or whatever, after. But definitely, it's worth looking at a bounce back off this support level.
I think Scotty, just my take is probably wouldn't be a great idea for the rates to be raised at the moment for the RBA, considering the bubble that the housing market's in a lot in Australia. So
Yeah.
they'd be tentative. I think they'd be quite tentative of that. We'll probably see. By my estimation, they're not going to raise rates this time around.
No. I think it was just chatter because they are probably fully aware. And the main concern is inflation's like at the very lowest level of where they want it to be, isn't it? It's about, 2 or so.
Yeah, they
And
work it. Yeah, I don't know what the exact inflation rate is, but they normally try and work in a band within 2 to 3%.
yeah. And wage growth is very bad. It's very stagnant. So I think they are aware of this. So that might have just been some chatter, guys. So with that being, so if the US continue to raise rates and the Aussie stays, that's another thing that will help, fuel this down move. Although you can't deny it definitely had a strong rally, but where it is now, it's worth watching at least for me. So we put the risk disclaimer at the start of the video. So read that before you just jump into a trade. So we're not here to give any advice, but it's interesting where it is currently. I was just thinking, there's not. Oh, do you want to discuss gold quickly as well? I think we've got a bit of time.
Yeah, I'm looking at gold, so it's really trending downwards at the moment. Seems to
Oh,
be.
there it is. Okay.
You look
Yeah.
at it, working like really sort of in the same band as the Euro USD. So if
Yep.
you look at Euro USD now with it, it's starting to peak downwards. It's starting to go downwards again, which normally is the opposite, right?
Yeah,
Normally,
it is.
if the USD dollar's going up, gold's going down. But yeah,
It is. It had a little bit of a bounce. And I mean, the low I've got on the daily, it hit the low of 1160. So
yeah,
that's and it bounced a little with that sort of kangarooish tail, but you're right, now it's back sort of down
yeah.
again. So
Yeah, so it's sort of working in that sort of way. If the US dollar's showing strength, the gold showing weakness.
yeah,
Yeah.
So keep an eye on this, guys. Again, we'll keep an eye on the Aussie dollar. Anything else to add, Connor?
No, Scotty, you hit the nail on the head.
All right, guys. Again, thank you for watching. Any comments, please just flick us through to us, guys, and we'll go over anything. Happy trading, Connor. Thanks for joining us again as well.
Thank you.
See you, everyone.